Happy New Year, folks. 2021. We finally got here. We finally made it. And I hope this year is a better year for you than 2020. But I got to ask you this. Was 2020 that bad? Or did it seem that bad because you were told consistently with no break in it that it was a horrible year? That everybody's going to die. The economy is going to fall down around the ears. Everybody's jobless. People are starving in the streets. We're Venezuela. Was it really that bad? Gotta ask you. What I want you to do, I want to challenge you right now. Before we get too far into 2021, look back at 2020 and really take stock of what happened. Some of you say, well, I couldn't work at the office. I had to work from home. Was that bad? I say it's because one of the things that a lot of parents always wish they had was more time with their kids, with their family. When your kids are grown and you're retired and they've got their own kids, and a common refrain you hear is, I really wish I had more time to spend with them. What do you have now? Now that you're not working in the office, that you get to work from home, how much more time do you get to spend with your family? And you're still productive and you're still getting a paycheck. Right? There's a blessing in disguise. Now, if you don't like to be home with your family, if the grass isn't greener on that side of the fence, maybe it's because the septic tank's on that side of the fence. Yeah, we know it's in there. It's all what you cultivate. It's all how you fertilize it, how you take care of it. So, but seriously though, look at your 2020. Take stock of it. Maybe it turned out to be a better year than you thought it did. I know some people did get laid off. Some people did lose their jobs. Some people end up with new jobs that they didn't anticipate having. Maybe they had a long-time job that they liked with a company they liked, but they lost it. Now they're doing something else. It's a new opportunity. But the point is, look for the silver lining in it. Don't always think it was always bad. I'm going to tell you about our 2020. It's not to brag, and it's not to boast about what happened. I want to give you guys a testimony for encouragement. You know, and a testimony is basically to remind you of the goodness of the Lord, and that He will do it again. And He can do it again. And He'll do it for His faithful. He'll do it for those that are not ashamed of His name. So, by April of 2020, the company I was with, they had a series of issues over the last year and a half. Excuse me. And they just had a hard time recovering from it. So then we got the virus, and it really hurt some of their freight base. So April, I got a call from my immediate supervisor, and he said, we're laying off everybody that was over the road, that did not have a dedicated account to work on. So that meant I was going. They said, we'll give you a month, give you a month, find something else. So I found the job I'm at now within like a week and a half. So I turned in my equipment, came to this new job. Well, as of my last paycheck of 2020, between the two jobs, my income is higher than it was in 2019. If our economy was so bad, if things were as bad as the media tells you it is, if it was as bad as the politicians are telling us, would that have happened? No, it would not. Because my job is directly tied to the economy. Although it's an essential job, if things are not being manufactured, if people are not buying stuff, if things are not being built, I've got nothing to move. And I have no job. See? So it's not as bad as they say. Now, to add to that, at the end of the year, we've been looking for a place to move. We've been looking for a new home for quite a while. We have a really hard time finding something. We get into December 2020. We found a place, and we weren't even looking for it, didn't even know it existed, but the person that owned it, just out of the blue, came and was like, hey, we got this place. And we're like, hey, yeah. And it's a nicer place and we can afford it. My wife, for years, had been a stay-at-home mom, a homeschool mom, the 4-H mom, and the livestock mom. Quite busy doing that, but I was the sole source of income in our home. 2020, she gets a job with very good benefits, with a good retirement, and it's a full-time job, and it's a huge boost to our income. Yes, it does come with its challenges. Our kids are grown. They're not, we don't have to take care of them, to the extent as when they were under 18. But it's hard to explain to you that when you're used to one spouse being home all the time, and then they're not, it changes things around the house. And it's not a bad thing. It's just you got to adapt to it. You got to grow with it. You got to change with it. So look back at your 2020. How bad was it really? What kind of new opportunities did you get? What kind of opportunities did you have to grow within your career, or a new career, or with education, or spiritually, or as a spouse, or just as a person, as maybe lose weight, or change your dietary habits and get healthier, or you name it. But just look, guys, just look and see. I'll guarantee you it's not as bad as you think it is, as bad as you're told it is. So as we look into 2021, we see what do we want to accomplish? Of course, we want to be a better year than 2020. And we've all got goals. Everybody's got dreams, goals, aspirations, things they want to accomplish. Sometimes, some of us, it's to lose weight. Some of us, it's to get out of debt. Some of us, it is to start college or go back to college. Some of it is you maybe get healthier. Maybe it's to get away from being diabetic, or maybe it's to lower your blood pressure, or you name it, grow spiritually. Whatever, start new good habits, break bad habits, start new good habits like reading. So you set the big goal, right? So, okay, at the end of the year, I want to lose 50 pounds. Well, that's great, awesome goal. How are you going to do it? If you don't set the goal for how I'm going to do it today, how I'm going to do it tomorrow, how I'm going to do it the next day, I haven't set a goal for what you want to see at the end of the week, into 2 weeks, into 4 weeks, you're going to lose sight of it. And you're not going to see the small accomplishments, and you're going to feel like the big accomplishment of the 50 pounds is insurmountable goal. It's a mountain you can't climb. And you lose hope and you give up, and you're like, I just can't do it. I'm never going to do it. And as that dream dies, a part of you dies. And the more times that you put these great big grand plans and goals in place, and you fail to accomplish them because you didn't have the small steps in place to get you there, and the more times those dreams die and a little bit of you dies with it, you become a shell of a person. You no longer have dreams and desires. You don't know what you want, and it's very easy at that point to fall into depression and hopelessness. See, a person without a dream might as well be dead, right? A person without hope is a miserable person. We all know them. We've all been around them. And a lot of people, we've been there, and they can tell you, when you don't have a dream and you don't have hope, it's a very tiring, very sad, very dark place. Remember, the Bible says be content in all things. It says a man's got the dream. You got to have something to work towards, something to do. So start small, guys. Start small. I want to lose 50 pounds at the end of the year. The first month, I want to lose 5. Celebrate it. Celebrate the 5 pounds. I want to read the Bible. I don't really read the Bible like I should. I want to really read it. I want to read it every day. Well, instead of saying I don't have time, read a page. Just the front of the page, right? It's double-sided print. Just read the front. Do it tonight. Pick it up, read the front. Take you like a minute or two. Close it, go to bed. Tomorrow, read the front. The next day, read the front. Next day, read the front, or maybe the back, whatever. You'll realize that you want to start doing it more. And before you know it, you're going to read the front and the back. And then you're going to realize, hey, I'm reading the front, the back, then the front of the next page, then the back of the next page. And it's going to grow. And before you know it, you're going to realize, hey, man, I'm reading chapters a day, and I can't get enough. But you got to set the goal that I'm going to read a page today. I'm going to read the front of the page today. Tomorrow I'm going to read the back of the page. Next day I'm going to read the front of the next page. The next day I'm going to read the back of the next page. The next day I'm going to read the front and the back. And celebrate it as you do it, as you make those milestones. Rejoice in it. Find people that will rejoice in your little victories with you, and they will also rejoice in the big victories with you. The people that will not rejoice in it, the people that will not hold you to task, the people that will not exhort you, the people that are going to be like, that's no big deal, or why are you trying to do that, or you can't do that, get away from them. See, you'll find yourself, you're in cycles, right? A cycle, it's a circle. You always come back to the same point. And you can't break it. You can't break it. You can't break it. But if you look, you're going to find out you've got the same circle of friends around you. The same circle of acquaintances. If you got the same circle of people, and you got the same circle of circumstances, The only way to break the circle of circumstances is to get rid of the circle of people and get a new circle. And it might be lonely for a period, but it's for your betterment. It's for the betterment of your family. It's for the betterment of your children. It's for the betterment of the people you work with. Until you break up the group of people, that circle of people, you'll never break your cycles. So guys, don't go big, grandiose without little plans. Little plans, make big plans, make victories, celebrate them, write them down. You got dreams, write your dreams down. You dream dreams at night, and if you can remember them in vivid detail, write them down. Pray over them. You don't know what they're going to mean. You got no idea. You don't know what's in store for you. Don't kill a dream because you think that the end goal is too insurmountable. Now keep this in mind too. The dream you have may not be for you. It may be for you to lay the groundwork. I think of King David in the Bible and his son Solomon. David wanted to build the temple. God said, you shed too much blood, you can't build a temple. Your son Solomon's going to build a temple. See, David had the dream to build a temple, but David was not the one that was going to build it. So what did David do? He obeyed the Lord, didn't build a temple. But he laid the groundwork. He laid the foundations for his son Solomon to build a temple. He gathered the money and the gold and the silver and the bronze, and he gathered some of the other material together so that when he died and the kingdom was handed over to his son Solomon, his son could build the dream. Right? Maybe it's not your dream to build it. Maybe it's not your dream to do it. But it's for the next generation. But you're an important and vital step in that dream, and that coming to fulfillment. And it can't happen without you laying a certain amount of groundwork and having the passion and praying over it and speaking life into it so that it will come to fulfillment. It's not going to happen by itself, guys. It takes a certain amount of discernment, and it takes a circle of friends and influencers around you that have permission and that have wisdom to speak into your life to help you discern whether it's for you or it's for your next generation. Or maybe it's for a generation after. Think of Billy Graham's father and his friends down by Charlotte before it was a big city. And you know, a bunch of farmers. And they get together and they pray that somebody from the area would rise up, be a mighty man of God, and evangelize not just the area, not just the state of North Carolina, but evangelize the world. Little did they know that one of those men in that group praying for that was raising and laying the foundation for the individual that would do that. That's right. That prayer resulted in Billy Graham. Guys, you don't know what your prayers, what your dreams and passions are going to produce. And they're not always for you, but they're for the next generation. Think about it. Pray about it. Don't give up hope. No matter how bad it looks, don't give up hope. The media and the politicians are always going to tell you it's bad because fear sells. That's right. Fear sells. It gains followers. It brings in viewers, advertising dollars, donation dollars, and power. Cut them off. Cut them off. You don't need them. Don't live in fear, guys. Live in hope. Be content in all things. But most importantly, don't abandon your dreams and your goals for the new year. Set steps. And don't be afraid to adapt and overcome adversity. Things might happen to derail a step. That's fine. Replan, guys. One of the things you learn in the military is that no plan ever survives initial contact with the enemy. So don't be surprised that if your plan is to better yourself, to grow, that you're not going to find any kind of contact or resistance. You will. But you got to be able to fall back and regroup and cultivate, make a new plan and stick to it and go at it and do it again. And maybe I have to reevaluate and put new steps in place. I get a new plan to get there. Diets, man, you might have to change your diet 2 or 3 times to reach your goal. You might have to change what time of day you read. You might have to change what you read. You might have to change what version you read. You might change the style or whatever, guys. But don't be afraid to adapt, to improvise, to change your plan. That's not failure. That's growth. Think about that. Keep that in mind. Pray on it. Meditate on it. And I hope your 2021 is far better than 2020.